Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the LDV Group Limited. They're a business out of China. They're owned by the SAIC Motor Group, and they currently have vehicles in Australia. They have SUVs, utes, vans, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's get straight into it, I suppose. Executive summary of the business. This business report provides insight into the emerging vehicle manufacturer LDV Group Limited, responsible for innovative and affordable SUVs, vans and utes. This report contains an introduction of the business and the methods the business utilises for the growing success in this competitive market. The methods that I have included in this report is the current marketing mix, so the 7 Ps of LDV, the current macro environment, the pestle analysis. I've also included a SWOT analysis, so the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats of the business. I've identified the strategy that they use, which happens to be the focus on low cost, and also I've included recommendations for the future of LDV Group Limited. Moving on. So introduction. LDV Group Limited was primarily a British van manufacturer out of Birmingham when first established back in 1993. They are now a leading vehicle manufacturer specialising in commercial transportation, such as the T60 Trail Rider Ute. You may have seen it driving around, it's actually getting pretty popular nowadays, and the D90 7-seater SUV that they offer. They were initially known as Leyland DAF Vans Limited. A series of business failures, saw the company administrators sell their property rights to Eco Concept in 2009, whom then sold them to the SAIC Motor Group, which they're still with to today. To this day, yeah. Alrighty. So this just shows you that the products that they currently offer at LDV, ranging from utility vehicles to vans to SUVs. The vehicle market is very competitive, with many businesses filing for bankruptcy in the growth stages of the business life cycle. So to compete, LDV utilises a competitive price style. As you can see from the prices, they're pretty low for the market, really, for competitors. So moving on, prices. So first up, placement and promotion. Placement. LDV market coverage currently consists of 96 official LDV dealerships in Australia for sale and promotion. They of course also offer like an online store to browse the various products they offer and get quotes and all that sort. Promotion. As a vehicle seller, they use the strategy of personal selling at the various showrooms / dealerships. So this just basically means if you're going to a dealership, you're obviously going to be accompanied by a salesman. They promote through advertising methods such as billboards, TV ads, and use of social media. Once again, you might have seen it around. Their slogan actually is "It's LDV for me." The rest of the marketing mix, so people, processes, and physical evidence. For people, the LDV employers, consumers are to come in contact with when purchasing the product are trained salespeople with extensive knowledge of the product that they are selling. Physical evidence with a simple logo LDV has chosen is very easy to recognise and remember. They have a pretty simple logo, which is probably what you want in the business, such as things like Nike. McDonald's. Processes. All LDV vehicles are outsourced to be manufactured in China by the SAIC Group and imported to Australia by the Ateco Automotive Group. So here's the pestle analysis. We'll start off with political. I've written some notes down for each one. So heavy government support has been given to the Chinese automotive industry lately. For social, in the Australian demographic, business suffers from stereotyping. In the Australian demographic, the business suffers from stereotyping. So with this sort of company, they're given the kind of reputation of a faulty Chinese manufacturer, which is one of their weaknesses, obviously. Economy is constraints due to COVID-19. So COVID-19 has really put a halt on their sales. If you go to a dealer, you're looking for a fairly long wait time. I think it was anywhere from 4 to 10 weeks, really. And that's just bottlenecking the company, so they obviously can't sell. And yeah, vastly increasing economic growth in the emerging Australian market. Technological, constantly innovating and adapting to competitors, positioning the business to be the leading supplier in alternative fuels vehicles. Environmental, currently challenged with ethics of self-sustainable, eco-friendly vehicles. Following the unethical use of sourcing to China for scales of economy, sale bottlenecks that failure to bring new vehicles to country due to COVID-19. So we'll move on to the product life cycle. So after research into the business, it's pretty evident that the LDV Group Limited is currently in the growth part of the business. And with LDV recently being bought by SAIC Motor Group, they have only recently started mass producing and integrating into the extremely competitive market. In 2020, LDV saw a record new sales amount of 7,294 vehicle sales, with a massive increase of 32.7%. Moving on to the SWOT analysis. So some strengths that LDV have is, a clear strength is that they are cost-based competitive advantage. So they offer the cheapest utes and vans available in the Australian market currently. Outsourcing and economies of scale. Weaknesses would include, so back to their reputation, So with their vehicles being manufactured in China, a weakness this business faces in the Australian vehicle consumer demographic is their reputation of poorly made products. Another weakness is being in the vehicle business, in the vehicle market, it's highly competitive. Opportunities that they have would be LDV Group Limited have made it very clear that they are striving towards an alternative fueled vehicle which would produce less emissions and more eco-friendly, such as electric cars. Other opportunities, of course, would be globalization, introducing the company to different countries, the vehicles to different countries, Threats this business may face the failure to acquire market cap and continue innovating, as they are a relatively new business in this competitive market, currently in the growth stage. And another threat, of course, is direct competition. So vehicles from Toyota, Ford and Nissan. So moving on to the Porter's generic strategy, how cost-focused strategy works. LDV Group Limited has employed the cost focus for a competitive advantage by using their cost leadership strategy. The company is increasing their profit by reducing their cost of production through their use of outsourcing through the SAIC Motor Group, also increasing their market share by charging lower prices as well. Who else uses it? Another popular company that uses the low cost focus is IKEA. They're likely one of the most successful businesses in the world that uses this strategy. The company seek for suppliers who could manufacture well-designed sub-assemblies for the lowest cost. This strategy works for LDV as it allows them to obtain a significant competitive advantage in the vehicle manufacturing business. And lastly would be my recommendations for the future of LDV. So after the analysis of the company, it seems that the business continues and succeeds very well with their strategies they have implemented. The cost-based leadership approach seems to be exactly what the Australian market were after, as well as the products the company are offering, as used are a popular consumer item in the modern day. Although it is evident the business must continue to innovate to stay successful, and throughout this report, the way the business needs to accomplish this is by continuing research and development into alternative fuel sources, which would happen to be electric. So, yep. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed my business report on LDV Group Limited.